Hello, 7Es, receiving students and teachers.
Hello, Mr. Numo.
Thank you. Sit down. Seventies and receiving students, let's look at what we have done in our previous lesson. This time, I am going to ask you a few questions, and I would like you to give me the answers accordingly to the questions which I am going to ask. Now, 7Es and receiving students, the first question, give me an example of a directed number with a decimal. Kupa.
0.8.
0.8, very good. 7Es and receiving students, Kupa said 0.8. Now, I would like another directed number with a decimal but with a negative sign on it. Manly.
0.9.
0.9. Yes, that's a directed number, but I asked for a negative directed number. Walter.
Negative 0.5.
Very good. Negative 0.5. Good. 7Es and receiving students, those are some of the directed numbers with decimal. Now, I would like an integer that you have known in your previous lesson. Give me an example of an integer. You've already given me the directed numbers, which are on the board. I would like you to give me an integer. What is an example of an integer? Alan, what do you think?
Positive 1.
Positive 1. 7Es and receiving students, Alan said positive 1. Is it correct? Very good. Positive 1 is an integer. What about a negative integer? Give me an example of a negative integer. Ruthie.
Negative 6.
Negative 6. Very good. Now, positive 1 and negative 6 are examples of integers. 7Es and receiving students, by now you should know the directed numbers and integers. We can say directed numbers and integers are numbers which have a positive sign and a negative sign. Those are all known as directed numbers and integers. The only difference between directed numbers and integers is integers are all whole numbers. Again, integers are all whole numbers. We are going to practice more by using directed numbers or integers in today's lesson as well. Seventies and receiving students, our topic for today's lesson is making directed numbers, the abacus method. Making directed numbers, the abacus method. Now, 7Es and receiving students, in our previous lesson, I've asked you to make a abacus. In front of me, I've got two samples of a abacus. First one, I've asked you to find a plywood and two iron rods being attached to the plywood. If you haven't found a plywood, or if you don't have a plywood or an iron rod, you should have made a simple abacus using a banana and the broomsticks. Banana, the branch of the banana and the broomsticks. Simple abacus. Now, these are the two examples of abacus that we are going to use. 7Es and receiving students, we are going to use the abacus to make directed numbers. I would like you all to pay attention while I'm going through the instructions of how we can use the abacus. Class, the first rule. When you look at the abacus, the two sticks or the two iron rods standing, they represent a positive and a negative sign. Okay? A positive and a negative sign. That's a positive and this is a negative sign. Now, the second rule is this abacus, for number 0, the abacus, either negative or positive, is been represented by 0. Okay? So when you see there's no counters here, so it simply means that 0 represents either negative or positive. Now, when you look at the side of the abacus, I have some counters or bottle tops and some other things that I will use in representing the numbers on the abacus, like the bottle top and also this block here. It's been colored white and blue. Now, let's start our activity. 70s and receiving students, ever look at the abacus? You concentrate on the abacus. Firstly, I am going to have a bottle top and place the bottle top where it is on the negative side. Okay, I've got one bottle top here. 70s and receiving students, give me the directed number which is showing you on this abacus. Give me the directed number which is showing you on this abacus. Daisy. Receiving students, you can also tell your teacher.
-1.
-1. Very good. Now, still looking at the abacus, I will add one more bottle top on the negative side. Give me the directed number. Evelyn?
-2.
-2. Very good. Now, keep looking at the abacus. I'll remove the two bottle tops. Now I'll be placing these blocks here on the right hand side. Seventies and receiving students, how many blocks did I put on the positive side? John?
+3.
+3. 70s and receiving students, is he correct? Yes. Very good. Now, class, I'm removing the blocks again. This time, you have to watch carefully. I will have two bottle tops on the negative side and 4 blocks on the positive side. Seventies and receiving students, give me the directed number on this abacus now that you can see. Think carefully. Remember, you've got 2 bottle tops on the negative side and 4 blocks on the positive side. So what is the directed number? What is the directed number? Madeline?
-2 and +4.
-2 and +4. Yes, I have -2 on the negative side, 2 bottle tops, and +4, meaning 4 blocks on the positive side. Now, on this abacus, I would like you to give me only one directed number. When you compare the negative and the positive, what will be your answer for one directed number? Emmanuel.
+2.
+2. Emmanuel, can I ask you, how did you get your answer +2?
Because subtract by 2 negative and 4 positive.
Very good. Now, have a look at the abacus. I have 2 bottle tops on the negative side, 1, 2, and I have 4 on the positive side. Okay? So, Emmanuel said +2. We can work it out using the abacus. You know very well that there are 2 bottle tops on the negative side and 4 blocks on the positive side. So to make it equal, how many more bottle tops do you need to make the blocks equal with the bottle top? 2. So right now, the bottle tops are short with how many? 2 bottle tops. So we have how many blocks extra? 2 extra blocks here. So 2 bottle tops and 2 blocks, they cancel out, and you are left with how many? 2 blocks. That's the reason why your answer is +2. Can you see that? Okay, let's try one more time. This time, I will leave 2 blocks and I will add 2 more bottle tops on. 70s and receiving students, what is the directed number showing on the abacus? LC, what do you think?
-2.
Negative?
2.
LC, why do you say -2? Why?
Subtract negative to positive.
Negative to positive. Good. Isaac, do you have any explanation on the abacus? Is your answer same with Madeline's?
Subtract -2 to +4.
Isaac, I have 4 negatives and 2 positives.
Subtract 4 positive and 4 negative.
Good try, Isaac. 70s and receiving students, have a look at the abacus again. Now, again, I have 4 bottle tops, okay? And how many blocks? 2. So, if I have 2 blocks and 4 bottle tops, as I've said, the 2 blocks will cancel out with the 2 bottle tops here. So, how many extra bottle tops do I have? 2. So, is there any more blocks on the positive side? No. So, only 2 blocks in positive side, 2 bottle tops on the negative side, they cancel out. So the 2 extra bottle tops are the negative side. So we can say the answer to this abacus directed number is negative 2. Can you see that? Is that clear now? Okay, last one. Still looking at the abacus. There are 4 bottle tops on the negative side and 2 blocks. I will head on 2 more blocks on the positive side. 70s and receiving students, what is the directed number showing on the abacus now? If you have 4 bottle tops and 4 blocks, what is the directed number? Allen.
Positive 4.
Positive 4. 70s and receiving students, is she correct? Yes. Remember, there are 4 bottle tops on the negative and 4 blocks on the positive. Remember, I said canceling it out. When you compare, you cancel them out. So, what will be your directed number? Think. Lisa.
Because they are both equal.
So, what will be your directed number?
Negative 0. 0, I mean 0.
Again?
0.
0. Very good. 70s and receiving students, do you understand how to use the abacus now? Yes. When you are using the abacus, you cancel out the number of counters which are on the abacus, the negative and the positive. Like for example, Lisa said the directed number answer on this abacus is 0 because there are 4 bottle tops and 4 blocks. They both cancel out. So the answer is 0. Do you understand now? Yes. Okay. Seventies and receiving students, we are going to continue practice using the abacus to find directed numbers. Here is the exercise on the screen for you. The exercise on the screen says, what directed numbers are shown here? Write the directed number. 70s and receiving students, you have to use your abacus to solve the following exercises or problems on the screen. You have 5 of them, A, B, C, D, and E. You can work in your groups or in pairs. You can start now. 70s and receiving students, let's go through the answers, A, B, and C. Class, this is how we are going to go through the answers. Are you listening? Receiving students, 70s, all barrels down. Let's go through the answers first. Class, we are going to use the abacus to solve the exercise. Now, all look at the abacus. We are going to follow the question by placing in the counters onto the abacus, and you are going to give your answer. Exercise A, 70s and receiving students, how many counters should go on either negative or positive? 4 counters on where? Negative, okay? We'll put 4 counters on the negative. Remember, we are solving exercise A. 4 counters on negative. Now, 70s and receiving students, is there any more counters for the positive side? No. So, what is your answer then? Directed number answer. Francis?
-4.
-4. 70s and receiving students. Is it correct? Very good. Now, let's look at exercise B. How many counters should be on the negative side? 4. And on the positive? 1. So we'll put 1 on the positive side. Let's look at the abacus. There are 4 on the negative and 1 on the positive. Okay. 70s and receiving students, what is our directed number showing on the abacus? Glenda.
-3.
-3.
3.
Class, is she correct? Yes. -3? Is it -3? Yes. Okay, good. The answer is -3 because of what? There are 1 block and 1 bottle top cancel out, and you are left with how many bottle tops? 3. They are on the negative side, so we say it's -3. Very good. Exercise C. How many should be on the negative? 3. Huh? So we remove 1 bottle top. We have 3 on the negative, and how many on the positive? 6. So we'll have 6 blocks. 1 is already there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 70s and receiving students, what is our directed number showing on the abacus? Michaelin.
+3.
+3. Class, is she correct? Yes, very good, because there are 3 bottle tops on the negative and 6 blocks on the positive. So the 3, they cancel out, and we're left with 3 blocks. So that's the answer. Our answer is +3. Okay, the next one, exercise D. How many on the positive? How many on the positive? On the positive. How many blocks should be on the positive? 6. And on the negative? 5. So we have 3 bottle tops already. So we'll add on 2 more. Class, what is our answer? What is our answer then? Okay, we'll have JJ.
-1.
-1. Okay, have a look at the abacus. 5 bottle tops on the negative side and 6 blocks on the positive. So JJ said -1. 70s and receiving students, is he correct? No. Oh, sorry JJ, your answer is wrong. Teresa.
Positive 1.
Positive 1. Is she correct? Yes. Very good. Okay, JJ, have a look at the abacus. You have 5 counters on your negative side and 6 blocks on your positive side. So the 5 they cancel out and you are left with 1. Last one. How many on the negative side? How many on the negative side? 8. So we're going to add 3 more bottle tops onto the negative side. And how many on the positive? Okay. So we'll have only 3. Class, we have 3 blocks and 8 bottle tops. What is our directed number showing? LC.
Negative 5.
Negative 5. Is she correct?
Yes.
Very good. 7 is and receiving students. We have all answered the exercise 1. For exercise 2 and the rest of the exercise in the book, you can do it for homework using the abacus. With that, 7 is and receiving students, it is very easy to use a abacus to make directed numbers. You can practice that by doing the rest of the exercise for homework. Class, our key phrase for today's lesson is making directed numbers, the abacus method. And our next lesson will be on integers on the number line. To the receiving teacher, make sure you have to draw a number line ready for the next lesson. With that, 70s and receiving students, thank you very much for your participation in today's lesson.